We can't thank you all enough for taking the time to come out this morning and join us in this really great celebration for this whole region of the county. This has been about 50 years in the making, we think. When we broke ground in this project in April of 2011, it was due to the input from literally hundreds of people. And so I'm going to mention a few of those, and naturally we'll leave somebody out, so you'll forgive us if we do that. But I want to start by recognizing the fact that former Mayor Maxine Gilman, who's with us today, and former City Manager Tracy Williams, long time ago, Maxine, you all got it started and bringing attention to the fact that this area, this region, needed this intersection to be completed. And then it went through lots of different people and lots of different scenarios. And in the end, our current city manager, Brad Townsend, our former economic development director, Bill Koval, who passed away last May, and our consultants, Paul and Penny Tips, they put the final pieces in the puzzle. And we got it done, we got the funding. As all of you know, it's all about funding in the end. And so here we are. So we need to thank those people. Lots of other groups and organizations were involved over the years, certainly. As we all know, this project will have a huge impact on the future redevelopment of this region, not just the city of West Carrollton. Of course, it's obviously very important to us, but it's important to this whole region. And while I'm at that point, I want to recognize one other person, a new person to most of you. We have a new economic development director. He's just been on the job a few days, and I want you to see him, Tom Ross. Tom Ross, where are you? Back there he is. He's our new economic development director. Please say hello to him. If you don't, he'll catch you eventually. And he's the guy that's going to spearhead the city of West Carrollton's effort in redeveloping a lot of this in this area. We won't mention where he's from. He's from that city down south on the river. But he's welcome here in West Carrollton, that's for sure. As you may have noticed when you came into town, we were in a hurry to get them up by today, and I'm not sure we got them all up, but there's some new banners around talking about the excitement is building in the West Carrollton area. And while those banners will go up here in West Carrollton, I hope the excitement is building all around the region. When we do get the development completed, and starting with the folks up in Dayton and above, through West Carrollton and down into Miamisburg, when we get our river front plans all in place, this is going to be a fantastic area for everybody to come. And we hope that happens sooner than later. But like all things, you know, funding is the issue. And we've asked Kettering for a contribution, but Don Patterson just walked away.
Move it that way.
We want all of Miami Valley to know what great recreational opportunities already exist down this way, and they'll be even better in the years to come, and that's something we all can look forward to. Some of our businesses along this corridor have already gotten a taste, just since the exit has been open, of what it means to them. And so one of those folks from Bernstein's Catering, which, by the way, if you're interested when you leave here, you want to sign up, find a caterer for your next event, is right across the road in Carrollton Plaza over there. And Lauren Bernstein is, Baumgarten, too many B's, is here to tell us just for a moment what this new exit has meant to her. And she speaks for many of the businesses along this corridor. Lauren?
It's okay, we're closely related anyway, so the last name doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. It is both a pleasure and an honor to be a part of this grand event and new beginnings for the city of West Carrollton. Just a brief history, real quick, of our company. We started in 1988 back in Clayton, Ohio, as a small kosher deli and storefront, and soon began to realize that there was more of a demand for catering. So we focused more of our interest in the catering and became Bernstein's Fine Catering. We primarily focus and specialize on kosher cuisine, And while we are proud to serve Dayton as the premier kosher catering company, it's only 30% of our business. 70% is all other social corporate life cycle events, weddings, reunions, birthdays, corporate meetings, etc. So with the expansion of our new company, we kind of outgrew our quaint little deli and needed to find not only a bigger location, but more of a central area for our client base to better serve both North and South Dayton. So then we moved to the West Carrollton Plaza in July of 2011. And though it was a bit of a chaotic time because it was in the midst of all the construction, people always ask why we moved here during that time. Because of this new interchange and the opening of this new interchange, this is why we're here. It not only puts us in a more central location, again giving us better access to a north and south of Dayton, it saves us on average 30 minutes of travel time for all of our deliveries. And not only saving us the travel time, it's saving our clients the travel time as well and giving them better access to our commissary for consultations and pickups and so forth. With the new direct access, with the 30 minutes in each travel time, that saves us roughly 10 to 15 hours per week. So that increases our sales dramatically because that gives us more of an opportunity to take on more deliveries and to take on more events because we have that extra time. Also, it makes for a much happier consumer because it's such a direct route for them to get off and on the highway. It's so easy for them to find our location, and it's just a win-win situation for everyone. Another wonderful asset from the interchange is the improved traffic flow. We now have traffic both east and westbound, which offers more than twice of the visibility that it did over a year ago, which gives us more foot traffic even. People come off and on the highway coming through these roads can see that we have this, Bernstein's Catering, what's that? So they want to stop in, they give us a call and inquire about our business. So it's also increased our sales profit quite a bit just because of that. It's all been amazing positive growth amongst the chaos, and we're very fortunate to be here with that. And we look forward to the future growth of the business, not only with our business, but with the city of West Carrollton, that this interchange offers for the opportunities that the new gateway provides. So we appreciate it, and we're very thankful, and we really look forward to what's in store.
People who sit in the front pew are just not expected to sit there. I was looking all over the back for my fellow council folks, and I couldn't find them. That's because they're right up front. And so let me introduce my fellow council members, Jim Foker, Erica Shade, Angie Fryman. Jim Bowers is around here someplace. Back there he is with Peggy. And certainly our city manager, Brad Townsend. He's the tallest guy in the back. He's even taller than Jordan Burgess back there. So. The next person to introduce, and I have to take a moment to say something extra here. Don Spang is Executive Director of the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. He's worked for the MVRPC for what, 50 or 60 years, something like that?
Not quite.
Close to that. And he's doing his best to retire. And, I'm sorry, Linda Lotsbay is sitting back there. You're too short. You're sitting beside Maxine. I didn't see. Sorry. Don Spang, all the elected officials and many of the other appointed officials in this part of the country know Don Spang. Unfortunately, most of the people in this region don't know Don Spang. Those who do know him have the highest regard and respect for him. He's a man of honesty and integrity. Somehow he's managed to stay above the political fray when politics get involved in the functions and the funding of transportation in this area. I've never heard anybody say anything negative about Don Spang. Now he's been trying to retire, but I think the delay is they keep looking for somebody just like him, and they probably won't find that person. So he still may be around for a little while. But at any rate, it's Don Spang was always a promoter of the Exit 47 project. He realized a long time before a lot of other people did the importance that it would play and the importance it would have for this region. So, Don, share a few words with us.
Wow, that was very nice. Good morning. I'm very pleased and excited also to be here today, that this day has finally come. As you know, one of the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission's roles is to implement collaborative strategies to improve the quality of life and economic vitality throughout the Miami Valley region. The I-75 Exit 47 project is a prime example of how a collaborative planning effort has finally become a reality. A little history here on this project. It's been a long time in the making. In 1999, MVRPC, in conjunction with our sister agency to the south, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana Council of Governments, we undertook a award-winning study. It was a nationally award-winning study called the North-South Transportation Initiative. It was a comprehensive evaluation of transportation needs within the section of the I-75 corridor, all the way from Kentucky, northern Kentucky, all the way north into Miami County. This major investment study included all the governments, private sector, chamber of commerces, all the entities you could think of to develop a comprehensive strategies to address the needs of the I-75 corridor. And that study recommended over $1.5 billion, that's a B, $1.5 billion worth of needed improvements on the I-75 corridor all the way from northern Kentucky north. And as you know, you've seen a lot of construction since 1999. Most of those projects, all of those projects, were part of that study that had recommended, and most of them are either complete or currently under construction. Well, that study recommended identified this area, the West Carrollton Moraine area, Exit 47, as a major problem. We had 4 missing movements, and it was a major issue. So as part of that was the first step, to identify the need. That was identified. The next step we undertook what we called an interstate modification study. When you talk about interchanges, you have to go through a lot of detailed studies. Well, the next step was an interchange modification study that was conducted in 2003. And that interstate modification study recommended what you're seeing out there today. The actual design, preliminary design, was recommended as part of that study to add the 4 missing movements, which were, as you know, this was a terminus interchange. When the I-75 was originally constructed, during the construction phase, it was a terminus point where people would get off on County Route 25A, Old Dixie Highway, as the other portion of the roadway was constructed. So it never had the 4 missing movements constructed. So then in 2004, we completed an environmental study, which laid out all the environmental consequences, and you have to address the environmental issues and deal with all that kind of stuff. And that study recommended the preferred alternative that was being designed, that was completed here today. Then finally, once we had the funding, once we had the actual studies done, then we have to go get the funding. You know, that's always the tough part. And in 2005, MVRPC produced a video outlining the travel time delays for the emergency response vehicles and safety deficiencies related to the incomplete interchange. And that video was part of our application to ODOT, to the ODOT track, to try to secure funding for the project. So the stage was finally set for the project to move forward. Now, through the combination of funding, we were able to secure, obviously, local funds, Montgomery County EDGE funds. We had local jurisdiction funds. We were able to secure federal earmark funds through our senators, National Highway System funds, and of course, over $18 million of ODOT track funds. We were able to get the total project package funded at $25.2 million, and as you can see today, that's why we have the interchange being done. The construction of the 4 missing access movements will address the safety concerns and will help spur economic development for not only West Carrollton and Moraine, Kettering, Miamisburg, and all the southern Montgomery County area. MVRPC is very proud to have played a role in the project, and we look forward to it serving the region for years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Next, we have David Snyder, Director of Engineering and Operations, FHWA, and I have no clue what that stands for. So. David, tell us.
Yeah. FHWA is Federal Highway Administration. Good morning. How are you doing? Very glad to be here today. I want to thank the City of West Carrollton for inviting us to talk. It's an exciting day. We drove through the interchange this morning. It looks great. It's an exciting time. Now I have a fully functioning interchange that will certainly be a key factor in the economic development plans for the region. Mr. Spang said this project was funded through a partnership that was coordinated with the Planning Commission, included federal, state, and the City of West Carrollton, and it was an excellent partnership. City of West Carrollton and ODOT have been excellent partners throughout the project. I also want to thank ODOT for the excellent job they did on this project. We work with them on a daily basis, and they're a class act, and we appreciate all the help they did on that. And finally, I want to thank the contractor and their subcontractors for turning this plan into a reality, complete general construction. You did a great job putting all the pieces together and getting this thing built. Excellent work. Y'all should be proud. It's a great opportunity for the city and the region, and thanks again for the opportunity to talk.
David represents one of those opportunities when the feds came to southern Montgomery County and said, we're here to help, and they really meant it, and they did. And thank you for being here today, too. ODOT is a friend to many and not so friendly to many others. But there's one person in our part of the country that we're really privileged to have representing ODOT, and that's Randy Chevali from, he's the district director from ODOT District 7. And he's, from the first moment that I got involved in city politics, I asked, how can I get some information? Where can I go to learn about what's going on with Exit 47? And the first person they sent me to was Randy. And Randy didn't know me from Adam, but he was so kind and took a lot of time in explaining to me and bringing me up to date on where we were and where we needed to be and where we were going. And so Randy has always been a friend to us down this part of the county, and we're glad he's here with us today. Randy Chevali.
Thanks, Harold. I remember, I almost messed your cameras up and step up here. All this traffic coming off the interstates making a lot of noise. But you know, I never was good at foreign languages. You know, in high school I got my D- or D in Spanish and moved on. But when I met with Harold, I got a cup of coffee up north, and I was trying to explain to him how the project stuck in the pipeline and all the track processes and funding. Man, I felt when I was done, I go, there's no way he's understanding all of this. I don't even know if I understand it. It was really Greek. So I mean, I remember that conversation, and it was great. But it was great to get it out of the pipeline. This is a great day. You know, there were so many people involved, and it's now they get to see the results of their efforts. This major investment of time, expertise, and more important, local funding really resulted in getting this project where it is today. So this is an exciting time. It's an exciting project. It's been a long, long time in the making. I'd like to quickly recognize a few folks, and Harold did a great job, but I know there's quite a few ODOTers. I didn't see hands over here. So we got about 10 ODOTers, and I want to thank those. The contractors, again, without them, and I heard nothing but good about the interaction and partnering between ODOT, the city, and Complete General. So thank you, Complete General. One, Harold, I wanted to mention was MS Consultants. Got John back here. John, you got anybody else? Raise your hands. There's the consultants that did the design work for us, and appreciate all their efforts also. And Federal Highway. You got a lot to learn now that you know what Federal Highway is. And I appreciate David coming up, and I'd be remiss not to mention one counterpart that we worked real close with was Mark Bondurant. You know, one of his workers, and Mark's struggling. He's at home working on non-Hodgkin's leukemia. So So Mark is a great guy, and I just wanted to mention him and, you know, keep him in your thoughts. And without Mark helping us through all the things Federal Highway makes us do, we wouldn't be here either. I know most of you have been and heard the history and overview of the project, and Don did a good job of that, so I'm not going to go into that. But I do want to ask you, have you seen the movie with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman called The Bucket List? I see some nods. Great movie. Great movie. I use a lot of quotes from that. Well, this project has been on my bucket list for a long time. And I'm sure it's been on a lot of people's bucket list, so it's awesome to check it off. But for this area, you know, Moraine and West Carrollton, it's really just the beginning. You know, there's so many projects that we get to the end and we have these ribbon cuttings, and really it is. It's just the beginning of a lot of businesses, and a lot of the economic things that you've got going on here are just super. So a couple things I love to see when I'm coming down here finally is to actually see the I-75 northbound and southbound signs so close together. You know, before it's like, where's north? Okay, I'll go here. There we go. So it's great to see those signs as close together as they are. And some of you may be aware of a little project up north at I-75 and Main Street in Route 4. Phases are continuing to go on. Well, that one was on my bucket list too. So I'm glad it's off. And we got more on our bucket list, but that one's off. And so the phrase of malfunction junction is history, and so isn't the phrase of exit 47 with 4 missing movements. So those 2 comments, I don't want to hear any more. We're going to move on to the next one. So I thank you, and I thank the city and everybody, and I think it might be time, let's cut a ribbon. Thank you.